Hey everyone, it's Fresh Pair, and here's some of my thoughts on the Battlefield 5 beta. I played the beta a decent amount of time over the weekend, was able to upgrade some of my guns and feel them out. And you'll hear from everyone else who played the beta that STG was definitely the best gun in the game. I'm sure there'll be some balancing done in the future, so I won't really get into the performances of the gun, but the guns in the other classes were still viable and I had no problem getting kills with them. So, I'm really going to get into the pros and cons mainly for what I thought in this review, and I'm going to first list out the pros of this game and then get into the cons afterwards. So, what I really liked in this game was the immersion. That's what really got me into this game. The sounds of bullets flying along with the tank shells and the buildings blowing up, things getting destroyed around me. It was really nice sight to see, and just really felt like a war zone. The music and the score felt so intense, like I was in a very big war movie. I liked the customization. There's a lot of options with the reticles and the skins and the colors of the guns, but I didn't really like how there was the two currency system. First you had to level up the gun and then you had to get the points. The the battle points, I forgot the name what they were, but I think they should just refine it, make it a little bit more simpler. You just level up, unlock. Instead of just choosing the gun you wanted to unlock and then spending your points on that said gun. With that customization, I really liked the reticles and the skins in the beta. It was great. The one bad thing was the reticle. So the problem with the reticle was that you can't really see anything. You couldn't see shit. Like, it was looking through like a cop's tinted windows. Like, you couldn't see anything. It was like my friend's sports car. So they really needed to brighten it up so you can actually see something through the reticle. A simple but yet awesome thing that they added in this game was being able to change the color of your hit markers when you shot someone. You could change it to literally any color you wanted. You could be neon green, light pink, like it was awesome. So I changed my headshots into the game into a lime green and my body shots to a dark red, so it's easy to differentiate the colors of what I did, because when I was playing in the game, sometimes the white hit markers would blend into the snow map's background, so I didn't even know if I was hitting someone, or even on the other map, Rotterdam, on the train map, there was some like browns and whatnot, and the hit markers would get lost. So being able to change the color was a really nice change that they added. I had a fun time sniping in this game for sure, and I definitely liked that a little bit more than the gunplay actually. It felt really rewarding getting headshots, and it was decent amount of skill involved. Let's cut that shit out. Okay. I like the customization of the guns and the gun skill trees you could choose from. It had an RPG element I was definitely a fan of. It was simple, but nice. So I'm gonna get mainly into the cons with this video, and the cons will definitely outweigh the pros from what I've experienced in this game. So I had to constantly worry about ammo and health when I was playing this game throughout the whole weekend of the beta. It was just frustrating and annoying to deal with. I was constantly running out of ammo when I was playing. I would kill 2 or 3 guys, and then afterwards I would die because I had no ammo. Every fight was a decision, really, whether or not I wanted to engage depending on my health or ammo. You had to be very reserved and very tactical when you did something. In regards to health, if you got low health from one engagement, you are very likely to lose the next fight unless someone graciously gave you a med pack in the beginning or you already had a med pack when you spawn. And the issue is, what people did in order to resolve this issue is they would go up to the supply sites, and at those supply sites they would pick up a med kit right in the beginning of the game. But if you wanted to squat up and make a push, you can't go to these resupply stations, and you just have to depend on your teammate being a medic class. So I just, when you got your health low, you had to camp it out. And you had to camp it out for a very long time. It took a really long time to recover. And when you recovered your health, it kind of felt like a random amount of health was recovered. If you're below 50% health, you didn't heal all the way. And if you're above 50%, you would heal all the way. That's what I observed and I felt like is what happened. But I also didn't like the fact that the med pack, you had to hold 5 in order to use it. I would rather have just had a one hit function or one click function instead of a hold function. Another thing I didn't really like is the fact that you can't revive people that aren't in your squad like you could in the other Battlefield games. That irked me because if you went down or someone else around you not in your squad went down, you probably aren't getting picked up. It was really frustrating just laying on the ground bleeding out, and then there's people running around all around you. They're like, they don't give a crap. They don't give a shit about you. they're, they're like, team play wasn't really a priority, and I feel like in order to have someone revive you is just like having a teammate that was an outlier who would actually care about you, or having you squad up with your teammates. I also believe that the revive feature needs to be worked on. When you are downed, you shouldn't have to be stationary and be waiting to be picked up. I've some I have some suggestions DICE could do to fix these issues. When you are down, you should be able to crawl and move yourself a bit. I heard that they were trying to implement a drive mechanic, but that just seems unnecessary and would take too long. If you die out in the open, ain't nobody trying to revive you, and you just sit there aimlessly waiting to bleed out, like I said earlier. It takes entirely way too long to bleed out. The duration for bleeding out should be shortened for sure. You can, like, I just want to get back into the fight faster. Holding it and sitting there can be frustrating. They should definitely lower the amount of time you are holding down the button. The menu and the user interface was a bit confusing and convoluted. It was a little challenging trying to find out what I unlocked and for what gun it was for. I believe that when you're in the game, it should show at the top of the screen like other Battlefield games that you got such and such attachment, like the reticle when you leveled up your gun. I also wish you could edit your gun in the actual game or in the actual match, since it takes a decent amount of time to finish a game. Each game lasts 20 minutes, and if you unlock the attachment in the beginning of the game, you'd have to wait till that 20-minute long game ended in order to make any changes to your gun. Or you could just quit and like lose the bonus EXP, or if you're friends with your friends, you can't really quit in the middle or squat it up. But with my final thoughts and like the gameplay in general, I felt like throughout the matches I had to play very reserved and strategic. It was just a playstyle I didn't really feel like doing. I wanted to play aggressive, but you really can't with all these restrictions that they place on you with your ammo and your health. If you wanted to stay alive, you had to really run around the outside of the map and pick off stragglers. At least that was it in my experience. The lack of cover around you was frustrating, and when you first started some of these matches in your first deploy point, when you parachuted in, you'd get picked off on the outside of the map, outside of the sky. And if you had to survive, and if you survived that drop somehow, you'd get picked off by someone else shortly after. So you had to really make sure you landed in the middle of nowhere and then run over to live. You have to really play with friends in order to change your experience in this game. And the team experience that Battlefield is, like randoms, is not people you really want to run this game with. Randoms don't really revive you, and if they do, it definitely felt untimely when they wanted to. This game definitely heavily relies on team play and a coordinated squad. Going in and playing as a solo with an uncoordinated team or squad mates won't be the best time you have. This is probably DICE's intention though, as to how they wanted their games to play out. And with my final thoughts on this game, I really don't think this is going to be a game for me, which is unfortunate. I've played Battlefield 1, I've played Battlefield 3 and 4, and Battlefield Hardline, which was also a disaster, but I still ended up getting it. But so I do have Battlefield experience, and I did enjoy those games a bit more than what I saw this past weekend. The DICE really has a long way to go for me to want to play this game, and I know this is just the beta, but judging off my experience of just playing this beta, it really felt like a game I didn't want to buy or get into. The game just felt so unpolished and there's a lot of things to improve on. If I were to get this game, it wouldn't be the game I'm only mainly focused on unless they really address a lot of the issues and concerns I had. They really need to streamline a lot of things like the UI in order to customize your guns and get through the menus, because that was just so confusing. And yeah, that's what I really felt about the game. I really didn't enjoy it. They definitely need to do a lot of changes, and I'd have to look at a lot of patch notes in order for me to want to play this game. The game is definitely visually stunning, and it was it was fun to play. It was fun to play like a World War shooter. You know, recent given FPS titles that's been out, like I did not like Call of Duty World War II at all. It was so boring. The kill streaks were boring, but Battlefield was definitely one of the saviors of the World War shooter franchise. But it seems like I'll probably be playing other games this season now, and there's so many good ones coming out, and even games coming out on the Switch that I've just been looking forward to. So I don't think this is a game I'm going to get, unfortunately, but these were my thoughts, and I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Let me know what you guys think and whether or not you guys are going to get this beta, or not get this beta, but get this game. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.